So this is a short review of Lava Iris X8. Now let's start with the beauty of the smartphone, how the smartphone looks like and how this smartphone is appealing to the people's eyes. Now I find the beauty of the smartphone to be zero in terms of 5. Why? Because it is a complete copy of iPhone 5 with slight modification to avoid infringement of copyrights or patent. In this case, since it's a product, it is patent, not copyright. In videos it is copyright. I'm just used to that now. Anyways, the size is 5 inches, the bezels are large, and it looks just like an iPhone, and a lot of people will get confused when they see, and in fact they think that you have an iPhone 6 Plus. This is what many people asked me, is it iPhone 6 Plus? Now let's move on to the third part, and that is the thickness of the smartphone. It is 8.6 mm thick. So what I see here is that this smartphone is thick for the price point, but not for the usual smartphone that comes with this specification. Now let's look at the weight. Indeed, the weight is too much for this smartphone. It has 160 grams of weight, while other smartphones that come at this price point that have this much of specification, their weight is lesser than this. But it has 3000 mAh battery, which is non-removable, so that might have added to the weight of this smartphone, but still I think it is a bit more. Now let's move to the display. The display of this smartphone is HD IPS display, which means that if you turn it to various angles, then also the display won't fade, it will stay there, and that is one good thing about this smartphone. You will have a perfect look on this smartphone without having to worry about the angles here. Now let's move to the performance of the smartphone. This smartphone that I have is a different variant. It is not a 2GB variant that I have with me. So the processor speed here is 1.4 GHz octa-core. And then not just that, the amount of RAM is 1GB. There is another variant where the RAM is 2GB, but in this case, in this smartphone, it is just 1GB RAM. So how was the performance? If you ask me, then I would say that it was bad. I compared it with many other smartphones. What I found is that this smartphone is not on par when it comes to navigation, when it comes to touch performance with other smartphones. Now let's move to the gaming. I did not do a lot of gaming on the smartphone because I have a lot of other smartphones to play on and to see how they perform. So in this case, the mediocre, I did some little amount of gaming, and they worked all fine, and it's a octa-core processor, and all the games will run, except for some games will not run in high graphics. You need some extra amount of RAM for that. Maybe the 2GB variant might be able to play that. Now let's move to the camera department. The camera were not impressive, neither they were bad. The camera will not disappoint you anyway at all, so don't worry about the camera. It is good. You can buy this smartphone and not worry about the quality of the images. Now let's move to the audio of the smartphones. The smartphones that come from China usually have some loud music to them, but they are not good when it comes to using the smartphone for long term. So get better headsets, because even if they have good good volume in the speakers, then also they are terrible in performance. Now let's move to the battery of the smartphone. Like said in the beginning, this has 3000 mAh battery, and which adds to the weight of the smartphone. So there is nothing to complain about it. The battery lasts for longer. In fact, it lasts for 1.5 days. Of course, it has 3000 mAh battery, and why would it not last for more than a day and a half? I think I also have to cover the internal memory here. The internal memory on this smartphone is 8GB, which is standard for most of the smartphone at this price point. There is no reason to call this smartphone a bad smartphone, because it has everything that is needed for a smartphone to be good. Now there are certain problems like this slow navigation speed. Maybe that is because of the UI they are using. What it may also be that this smartphone is not perfectly optimized. It could be anything. But as far as my opinion on this smartphone is concerned, I would say that there are many better options in the market available instead of buying this smartphone. So get a smartphone that is better. Get Lenovo A5000, get Lenovo A6000, or Lenovo A6000 plus, or whatever different type of smartphone, but not this one. This one I don't recommend because of the slow speed. But if you are getting a 2GB variant smartphone, then I would say yeah, go for it, because it has some good performance. Now let's move to the comparisons of this video of the smartphones, and we will see those in separate different videos. So in this case, I would like to end this video on the Lenovo Lava IRIX X8. So thanks for watching. We will meet next time.